Welcome in, everybody. It is game time, championship time, nay, of the Florida Association of School Administrators here on the PlayVersus channel, which is, of course, brought to you by PlayVersus, and we want to let you know that there's a moment to shine here on this platform for you if you're in high school or have a program of your own, because it is open now. Enrollment for the spring season. Spring 2025 is upon us. And enrollment, again, is to compete for free in your favorite game titles and battle all the way to a championship like you're seeing here today. This could be you on the biggest stage. And you can learn more about PlayVersus in the upcoming season at playversus.com. That is play, V as in Victor, S as in Sam.com. Get enrolled today. Get involved. And involved in the cast with me, we welcome back DJ TJ here with us as well. TJ, how are you today, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's a pleasure to be here. Obviously, Rocket League is kind of my thing in terms of casting and my career in general. So I'm excited to see what does Florida have in store for us. Hoping for a very exciting series. Maybe we see 7. Maybe we see some overtimes. Who knows?
That's right. Well, let's check out the matchup right now. We've got the Timber Creek High School. The Wolves coming in. They'll be facing off with Patriots Elite of Freedom High School. And now it's all a matchup between the number 1, number 2. Both of these teams were destined to be here, some would say. And so when you get this battle, you know what's ahead of you. You had a feeling of who you might go up against. And to see that fulfilled, now that's where your game plan of sorts, at least mentality coming in, really comes into play.
Yeah, this is that perfect matchup you can ask for. The 1 seed, the 2 seed. And also, they really haven't been challenged. Like, really no game 6s from what I saw. Maybe 1 game 6 from the 2 seed, and then maybe 1 other game 6 in this entire bracket. So things staying pretty linear here in the FASA. Obviously, Patriots, the 2nd seed, the team who did go to game 6 with Florida Virtual School, handled that series just fine. But Timber Creek looks like the team to beat. Again, the reason why they're the 1 seed.
Yeah, and, coming in as the Wolves with Chris P. Bacon, kind of hilarious. Comes in, he's been absolutely fantastic. I've seen him in the PlayVersus cycling through. Obviously, he was a young player because it's been a couple years and seen him on this roster. So at least a junior, if not for sure a senior, it feels like at this point in time, has been a leader of this team. And you'll see that definitely, kind of gravitate within it. And I know you have captain status as well, or you've been there, done that as a leader. What are you telling your team walking into a matchup of this gravity, right? Because there's so much that you've got to calm the team down, or if they're a little bit timid, you got to amp them up. So you got to find the right balance at the end of the day in the communication platform.
Yeah, when it comes down to esports across the board, Rocket League is probably one of the worst in terms of room for error, which doesn't have to be a bad thing. The game's fun, the game is fast, it's why we're here to play it. But you have to make sure that you're coming into this series with a completely clear head, a completely clear game plan. How do you want to play? How do your teammates want to play? And how do you want to communicate and kind of blend all of that into a true, consistent rotation? And then from there, hit your shots, make your saves, and the rest of it will fall into place. But one thing, Bear, that I think I do have to mention is that these teams have history, and fairly decent history at that. They played just about a month-ish ago. They played in regular season, and it was a 3-1 win for the Wolves. So something worth noting. But I will say, in the last week of the regular season, the Wolves won in 5 over the team that we just saw the Patriots side beat in semis. So I will say the Wolves, clearly the strongest pick, but they are beatable.
They're vulnerable at this point in time, you would say, because it hasn't been a perfect run like you mentioned. It's been great for the Wolves, but in that semifinals matchup, they did surrender a game. Not to mention it'll be a best-of-7 scenario here in the bracket, as you know very well, that things get interesting whenever you get into that best-of-7 scenario. Now, you don't want to do yourself any disjustice and fall down in a series, especially a best-of-7, where it's virtually impossible. If you get to that 3-1 mark, especially if you go down 3-0, it is nearly impossible to break yourself out of that one. Obviously, crazy things happen, but you want to do yourself a favor. We always say best of 5s, you want to start really quickly. But here in the championship match, it's how you set the tone, how you get out to that quick start, and you want that first win, put it in your back pocket. If you don't get it, you need an answer. And I have a feeling between these two teams, as much as I've seen them play together, like you mentioned in the regular season, now at the highest level here in the bracket of state champs, in the finals of state champs, I expect nothing less than a back and forth battle between the two are in the title here at FASA.
Yeah, that best of 7 is good news and bad news. It is a true fair. Probably your best chance, and you're probably your only chance to have some mistakes, have a true feeler game. So we'll see kind of what the early strategies are. We'll see Timber Creek already starting out with Crispy Bacon, trying to find a shot on net. His teammate Pinkish will already kind of come in, and then Piggy's gonna have a chance, but a great save from MGM.
MGM not able to settle it down before possession's handed directly back. Timber Creek looking to work into the zone as well. IDEK, Void is what I'll go with here. Also trying to get comfortable, find some passing plays, but Thick Piggy will challenge that off the back wall, try to get and jump onto it in a timely manner at the top of the box. Crispy Bacon here, try to bank it off that side wall, but is read all the way by Void, looking for MGM, but Thick Piggy had that definitely marked down and knew it was coming. So when you have that sensor play, you want to see anticipation, you want to see your intuitive nature come out here in a championship game. We got to see a sneak peek of that early.
I mean, so far, Freedom struggling in their own corners. It's a lot of back and forth, which for the time being in game one is fine, but it's not sustainable, as that's another top end look from Crispy Bacon, who's already been a very clear leader in the offensive half, as now we'll see a pass fall middle, but it will be red, and Freedom actually might have a shot on net here. Piggy just narrowly able to get back and touch it high enough. Let his teammate redirect that right back to him. The team play is starting to cook here in game one. A stealing pass was in order, but it will not be what's in store, as MGM on the counter has another. Looks top, bends, and will find it. A great air dribble over two.
It is perfect to get vertical number one and then save a little bit of boost. That the flutters made all the difference here to make sure you're not running out, and then just barely, by the smallest of margins, able to launch that towards the net because the defender was crossing to try to get that challenge almost all the way up to the ceiling. The verticality will get it done for Freedom High School to take and draw first blood here and make it 1-0 here for the Patriots, as they really a good way to get settled down, like we mentioned early in the best of 7, is they put the first one on the board. They found some open spots. They're able to take advantage of it right off the bat and try to work into a good feel, good rotations to continue the same pressure that we've seen early in this.
Also, with the sake of storylines, Bear, I gotta inform everybody about something, is that Patriots Elite Freedom High School, they are not playing with their best player. Mango is not here. He played the entire season, played in semis. He is not here in the final, and MGM actually is off the bench here in this game. So far, for them to be halfway through game one and have the lead, pretty ideal start for him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's a whole factor, another one of the many that you have to take into consideration here. And it may not be a live event here, but what you do see is just a complete, it's not a complete change, right? As long as you have and feel confident in your ability as a team, as a unit, you still get some practice in over the course of the season, but that is definitely an X factor to keep an eye on as well. Pinkish did a great job to at least avoid one, but unfortunately, ultimately just gave possession away. And Thick Piggy trying to keep it close, especially when you're running out of boost up high, is a little bit of a sketchy situation. And over the side wall it'll go, and Splashy looking to play into the zone, finds MGM, but will also find 3 members of the defense here from Timber Creek, which is not exactly ideal as a defensive look, but it'll work for the time being to get them out of the zone.
Pinkish trying to find something off the backboard, but Splashy doing a great job to sit right there on the backboard in the right area and make sure that ball came right to him. See Bacon try and keep this in the half. Once again, the Timber Creek pressure has not been the problem. It's been their last few touches, trying to find that last pass, that last shot, that last dream angle to tie this game up, or maybe even a full court air dribble here, full field air dribble. Not going to find anything just yet. We'll see Squid tap this over to the side. Piggy's sitting there waiting on it. A lot of patience from Timber Creek, but with 90 seconds left, you can kind of feel there's some dying moments in the offense here.
A lot of it has to do with nerves. You can kind of tell that right off the bat, especially with some of the mistakes that we're seeing. It's not something that we've seen all season long, all regular season long, but here an attempt, double touch, gonna go a little bit high, a great opportunity. Looking by the wayside, but Crispy Bacon's waiting for it here on the other end. Sidewall attempt. Now has it glued to the front of the car, gonna take it with an air drag, and also has some help there as Piggy's gonna crash into the box. MGM just has to try to punch at it. That's going to get possession away again off the crossbar. Crispy Bacon looking for the back bends. Oh, it's barred down. And Timber Creek, well, they weren't pressing a little bit earlier, but they found the right time to strike and equalize.
I mean, we mentioned this at the beginning. This is your game for mistakes. So after so many shots on net, so many plays off the corner, one of them had to be bound to fall, either at the beginning of game 2 or right here to tie it up. Under 60 seconds to go, game 1 of the state final. We're off to a great start, Bear.
Here we go. Starting to heat up. Freedom looks strong. But will they be missing their starter a little bit more than they would like or prefer? Will it be a factor? That early start, but look as Piggy's advancing forward too, getting physical with it, with the demo, the last in the shot, couple follow-ups, try the dunk, but it was denied nicely by MGM as they stood their grounds. Now Now MGM trying to keep it here. Pinkish gonna back pass it. Crispy Bacon. Splashy's not gonna be able to get there. 20 seconds left, and a couple of back-to-back goals for Timber Creek will give them the lead.
Splashy had to dribble MGM, a little bit of panic. It's that state final stage. It does not treat the players well, and unfortunately, a double commit comes out due to that. Wide open net, Timber Creek, they'll take 2 straight.
Now you got to score one quick. It was forcing the hands of Timber, who looked like they weren't pressing as quickly as maybe they needed. Well, Freedom will need exactly that, but it's hard to do that when you find the connections here. Timber Creek is finding, and Void just had to punch it off his back wall to make something happen. Desperation play turns into the backbreaker, and Timber Creek with a 3-1, and a very prime opportunity going to take a miracle for Freedom to try to get the first one on the board. And Timber Creek, credit them. I mean, they stuck around. It took a while for their offense to get going, but it certainly got there.
8 seconds left. We've seen a lot of crazy things happen in our time casting this game. I actually do like Freedom with the double on the kickoff there. I'm liking that there's some strategic plays that might come out later in this series, if that's the case here in game 1, but it will not lead to any sort of goal, any sort of last-second heroics. It's Timber Creek, the 1 seed, storming back 3 goals straight.
And the hat trick from Crispy Bacon. I talked about how, I'm not sure what the leadership status is here. I'll be honest. I don't know a whole lot about them in their communication front line, but I do know leading the goal scoring column, you can pretty much guarantee it. Now, I do like teams that are a little bit more, I don't want to say more balanced, because I don't, again, not sure if I can compare that, if that's fair. But finding goal striking from all sorts of angles, from anybody on the pitch at all times. Everybody has to do a little bit of everything in the game of Rocket League is what I'm trying to get at here for any of the parents that might be in the crowd here. But Crispy Bacon, you can rely on that hot hand. The shots are going to be on target. And the fact that you have your goal scorer who's known for it out here in making, even in the most opportune times when it seems a little bit difficult towards the tail end, when you're down 1-0 and goals felt like they're coming at a premium, to find your goal scoring individual and have them show out is definitely a good sign here. And one of the big reasons why they got this first one on the board. Yeah,
I have to say this too, though. MGM on Patriots side, he's actually, I feel like, not playing bad. Or they're not playing that bad at all. I really feel like having this last-minute substitution in the biggest game of probably your team's possibly high school careers, they're doing fine. They're doing, honestly, completely fine. But you've got to be careful. You've got to slow down, and you have to actually work with the team rather than trying to kind of get in your own head about things, which is a lot easier said than done. But you got an entire best of 7 to do it.
Back to the pitch. You said drawn up plays. One that you mentioned was off the kickoff. And obviously, finding passes, finding your teammates, just having that second nature is great, goes a long way. But look at that carry. Oh, Thick Piggy. Just glued it to the front of the car. The air drag will give Timber Creek, and they pick up right where they left off after game 1.
I mean, Piggy was looking like a sleeper pick in the last game, and they are letting it fly early here. 9 seconds in. If Bacon is not the one who has to put all the shots on and Piggy can kind of have this 1-2 combo in the orange half, then we're in for a treat.
There's a theme going on with Timber Creek. I don't know if you know that. Because then there's pinkish as well, the color of pigs.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the thing going on there is. Oh!
Oh! They call him Thick Piggy for a reason. That play, just so strong. The first touch, the recognition that MGM off the sidewall, to be able to avoid that with your mechanics, and then be able to have the finisher before the last defender can go there. He burned 2 in that moment. And now a 2-0 lead for Timber Creek. They're just looking like a force to be reckoned with.
Calm little redirect off the flip reset. I see that every now and then at the highest level here. Maybe I might be seeing this entire team in my rank lobby soon enough. Who knows? Piggy trying to make a statement. 30 seconds in, found 2 incredible goals, and now Bacon trying to find a pass middle. And it actually will be a shot from Void. It was an open opportunity. Pinkish going to put it right in front of their own net. Squid, an actually really smart 50 there past 2, but there is no second man in place. So Squid's got to go again, but not a lot of boost to work with. Has to kind of give it away. Bacon will make an easy clear out of it. Going to try and work their way down the pitch. Going to leave MGM by themselves. Bacon, double tap. Looking for one more middle. Pinkish looking for the same. But once again, Timber Creek has to reset.
And Freedom, even though they're trying to work out of the zone, they're having struggles of their own, to be honest, trying to find that midfield pass. And they're in the right positions here, but it just seems like something's a little bit off whenever they get that initial touch, which is everything in the game of Rocket League. So, Timber Creek is definitely floating some lobs, which Freedom can eventually jump on. Will they be able to get it done? MGM up, but a little bit too late. Pinkish just going to float this one. It will rainbow down in. Now it's 3-0, and if you're Freedom High School, is this the point where you pull out your red flags or no?
It's only game 2. I don't think we need to panic. I mean, there's still 3.5 minutes. There's a lot that could happen in this game. Now, granted, maybe if we get to like 7-8-0, which I hope that isn't the case, but it looks like there actually may be a tech issue as Void is completely AFK. We'll get word on that hopefully soon. But yeah, Void's lost connection. Okay, so I believe the rule is to play it out in the Play VS handbook. So as of right now, the teams will roll with it, and we'll see what the final ruling is. But 3 minutes left here. Like you mentioned, or like I was trying to say, nothing to worry about because it is game 2. But now down a player, it makes things a little tougher.
Yeah, that's you're already working without your starter. To physically not have your third on there too is just kind of a backbreaker, if you will. At least in the moment, it feels that way, especially in the biggest moment. Imagine, sitting there and not being able to contribute to your team at this moment. So it feels bad. But you have to play on. You have to toughen it out. At the end of the day, you're down 3. So just keep fighting here. Keep the gas pumping. Keep the spirits high, more importantly, because I know when tech problems happen at this highest level, especially at the championship, it can be easy to kind of doubt yourself and feel bad. But they've done a good job to at least keep it close. But now it's Timber Creek that are knocking on the doorstep.
2 minutes left, already a minute off the clock since the player disconnection. Looking like it didn't really affect them too much. There's still some solid midfield pressure going on, but also because Timber Creek has realized that they have the man advantage, and they also have the goal advantage, so there's really no need to rush into anything. Squid trying to kind of pick the pace up a little bit. MGM going to try and do the same down the pitch, and this will send middle. Actually will be a shot, but Bacon already is up and has enough boost to get a reset and touch it out. Just one more, but MGM's got a potential shot. Will be blocked away, and another free possession for Pinkish. Will also be one. It's a wide open net. Bacon has a chance to shoot, but it was positioning for the pass. Pinkish and Bacon both cannot get there. And again, this Timber Creek pressure, if they have the man advantage, they're still just keeping it moving.
And Splashy will bank this off the sidewall. A great decision from MGM to stay put in that moment. Unfortunately, couldn't get the touch, though. Knowing the circumstances, still just playing wisely. But Thick Piggy really just trying to kill some time. Why not a flip reset as well to pop it high over the last defender? Challenge into it. Void, though. Opportunity, but the touch will go backwards. And Piggy to it as well. And perhaps just trying to kill some clock at this point. You got the 3-0 lead. You got the 3-2 player advantage. So why not just maybe roll into a 2-0 lead here at this point? Because there's unfortunately not much you can do if you're Freedom High School.
Yeah, I mean, a minute left here. Freedom rolling with it. Did get the third player back, I do believe, and see if maybe there's some extra heroics, some last-second goals that might fall through. We'll see a touch actually on an open net here. Bottom corner is the option, and Void will tap it in. They get their player back, and wait a minute, Bear, they might be back in it.
All right, definitely step in the right direction as MGM went up high. So the super sub call will hop in and make a difference, at least in that moment. We'll pull you back within 2. It's at least striking distance. That's all you can ask for. And off the kickoff, pushing it forward, but that's right in the hands of Pinkish. A possession kickoff from Timber. Pushed it back to him, and Thick Piggy now trying to turn it midfield. We'll get a little bit of support from Crispy Bacon. Now Piggy trying to toss it in as well. Void up in a hurry to be able to get to this one and tap it down. A bit of struggles here, but now they'll have an opportunity in transition. Over to Splashy. The tap back down, realizing they couldn't quite get to it, and the tap from Pinkish around the last defender. It won't go, but it might kill enough time off this clock.
15 seconds left in the counterattack. Could be an order if Squid finds the dunk. No, Bacon actually avoids the dunk and will avoid the demo and the second player stalling out. Plenty of time here. Only one defender left. Void does get the quick turnaround, but nobody is there to follow. Bacon going to take it back to the corner, and that will be the end of this one. But I will say, when Freedom actually had their third in this last minute, I honestly thought they could have brought it back. So I'm excited to see what happens in Game 3, but it looks like Timber Creek will hold on to the win in Game 2.
Agreed. It'll go a long way with their mentality as well, walking into this next game, because you will fight your heart out, to be quite frank there. When you're down 2v3, did not allow a goal in that opportunity, and then got one back, like you mentioned. And when you got that third player back, started to make some progress. That's what you need to see. Granted, it's not what you want to see. That's what you need to see, especially when you're down 2-0 in the series here at this point. It has to be something deeper, a true belief in yourselves in order to come out of it. You go down 3-0. I already mentioned the statistics at the beginning of this one, so it almost feels like a must-win, but definitely steps in the right direction. And we say it all the time because it's so true. It's cliche for a reason. If you get that last goal of a previous game, trust me, it helps. You'll roll into the next one and at least feel better and hopefully get a hot start that you can continue throughout that game and hopefully be able to bring the series back within one. But it all starts from that belief that you gained, from that effort that you saw from the two that are on the pitch for an extended period of time.
Yeah, mentally, you got to take whatever you can get. You do not get timeouts. You very rarely get timeouts in any Rocket League event of any level, of any kind. So you have to mentally step back, put the controller down if you have to, and you have to realize, look, game 2, 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes of that was literally out of our control. A 2v3, then we still are very much in. So in terms of Freedom High School's odds, I like the chance of getting game 3 and then slowly bringing the game back. And then maybe we see 6, maybe we see 7. Who knows? But you have to get this game 3 because obviously the 3-0 curse odds, however you want to describe it, don't normally favor the team that's down.
Freedom High School coming in as the number 2 seed, Timber Creek with the number 1 seed if you're just joining us. And what better feeling than to get on the board quickly? You want to swap the seeds into where the finishing positions are. And the way that you do that is getting on the board first. Freedom High School up 1-0 in game 3.
It's a perfect start. Squid rotating through after kickoff, finds an easy bump, then shot is placed perfectly bottom left. Freedom ideal off rip in the first 9 seconds.
He can shot the kickoff, trying to answer back, but MGM, they read that nicely. And that's where the intuition comes into handy. But Piggy's got other ideas. Looking for the double touch off the back wall. Could not quite connect. And that'll force Crispy Bacon back, knowing that they have to kill some time, as I believe they were last back, because that came out in a hurry. Now Pika's just looking eyeball from the ceiling. We'll get the initial touch. It'll play up high because it hit that curve on the wall. So that's perfect, an exact bounce you want for Freedom High School specifically. Now they try to work out, but still having trouble with it. They have boosts in their tanks, except for Void right now, and they still are having trouble trying to get this ball out. That speaks to the pressure that Timber Creek really mounts whenever they get going on the offensive side.
This ball, tap middle, will be a possession, but Piggy was cut by his own teammate, so Bacon not able to find a pass. And this might just almost pinch directly in there. I was a little shocked to see that one go down the entire orange half. But once again, Timber Creek, they've done a really great job of using their own corner, using their boost, all the pads on their half, and finding full field possession. Bacon now looking for a teammate. Piggy had to wait on his play to finish. So now Piggy's looking for a touch middle off the ceiling. Pinkish is there, but it's very well blocked, very well positioned by Squid. Bacon off the backboard, needs to be a touch from Void. That it will be, and a great clear from Squid as well. The defensive 1-2 punch, Squid and Void are doing great. MGM making sure that Piggy doesn't get a free one there, and Freedom continuing to roll the punches.
I've liked what I've seen from Timber Creek, though, and they will have the opportunity down, and the bouncer will equalize yet again, and it felt like it was a matter of time, because yes, Freedom High School was doing great, being able to bail themselves out from the goal line, but that bend but don't break, unfortunately it broke there as Timber. I love what I'm seeing out of Piggy, especially to follow up, make sure you have possession, even get an extra touch off of some of those corner challenges to make sure that you're forcing some boost out of the tank from Freedom High School. They've been excellent doing just that, and he felt like it's a matter of time, and with 3-11, tie game again.
A 3-0 versus a 2-1 makes the world of difference, especially on the state finals stage. So for Freedom, obviously you don't want to add any extra pressure to team comms or kind of the movements around the pitch there, or especially the operation that is both sides of the pitch, but you've got to make sure that you can find some better pressure and maybe even find an extra shot here, as Void may have a pass out middle. We'll take a 50, and a great demo from Bacon will actually free up some room for Pinkish, but they are not able to stay on. This one stays middle, though. MGM looking bottom left corner, but Bacon unfazed, not concerned, just letting that ball come right to them. MGM not enough boost to follow, but Squid out of nowhere. Another player comes out of nowhere. It's going to leave Pinkish in a 1v1. MGM, an incredible job. The super sub, a very clutch save halfway into this one.
Pinkish took another shot off, but credit Void for being incredibly in the moment to be able to get that challenge. Difficult situation there. Splash he had missed, but great support from the defense of Freedom High School, who will now inch into the corner, trying to gain a little bit of space, but Crispy Bacon gonna carry this one straight over Void and has some support as well from Thick Piggy. And they go the length of the pitch, coast to coast, the 1-2 punch, and a 2-1 lead for Timber.
It's Bacon clearing some room and Piggy doing the rest. Again, that 1-2 punch in the orange half is absolutely deadly. 2 minutes left to go here in game 3.
TCHS feeling pretty good after getting 2 in a row. Those goals come in tandem I mean, we saw in the last game. We saw it in game 1. We see it again. They just come in bunches. And for Freedom High School, you just have to continuously be aware of where they are. Another perfect setup. And this is a combination of dreams. Take it to the bank because Piggy set up again beautifully by Crispy.
Piggy just going to work here. That is 3 for 3 in a minute 40 left to go. Timber Creek trying to stamp this one down and push it to match point.
Back down, and it's just seems to flow for them whenever things get cooking. And for Freedom High School, you want to find those same things happening. It all starts with how you're able to connect here. Down to 135. Freedom needs to press again. It feels like they've been chasing games from behind, so... But it just takes one moment, right? Just one goal here, especially, and it feels like it's got to come before the 1 minute mark here in this game number 3. But they've been doing things right. They just haven't been able to capitalize or answer on them when they need to most. In Timber, you just got to break that fire. But Timber's been so hot, it's difficult to manage. TJ.
I mean, Freedom has shown that they have the brains to compete, that they have the mental capacity to compete. I've seen kickoff strats. I truly do think that we are 1 goal away from making this potentially a tie game. Maybe we're 1 strat away, 1 extra demo or player on that kickoff could change everything, but we've got to get there. 50 seconds left, and Timber Creek doing a great job, and maybe finding another Piggy. Double will be forced a little right. Or would have been a potential dagger goal, but for now, Freedom does survive. They're going to look for a passing play. Void looking, faking, right side, forces 2 to go, and MGM has a chance to beat Pinkish. Will get a fake. They both will miss. Bacon is up. He's beat by Squid. Piggy try and stall away. Void accidentally doubles back to their side of the pitch, and Bacon also grabs the boost. 20 seconds left. It's really time for dire straits here. This one, not going to be own goal. Bacon's continuing to try and stall.
I like how MGM approached the last couple of sequences. Let's see if they actually get something to show for it. Here in the corner. Now it's a quick turn. Had an opportunity to take a shot. Now the follow-up. Oh, it's just off the post. One that they had to have. And time will run out. Timber Creek High School will be on match points despite the efforts here. And digging deep, credit Freedom High School. It'll be a dig out here at this point. Timber Creek scored 3 straight. Potential championship if they can get the job done, TJ.
I mean, the storyline is the same. In game 1, I believe we saw 3 straight. In game 2, we saw 3-1, and we're seeing another one here. Yeah. So Timber Creek, there's some good news and some bad news. The good news is that obviously you were up 3-0. But I honestly don't know if it's bad news, but it's interesting news is that your result in a 2v3 is the same as a 3v3. So just a few small things to maybe fine-tune heading into this last game forward to really try and clutch up and dominate, as I'm sure that the Timber Creek side has been coaching all year. But we'll see. We're on match point.
It's time to dig deep, right? It's now or never. You got to hop up and really give them a challenge. The Patriots will try to find a little bit of that same mindset of togetherness that we hear in the word Patriots to really get this done. Meanwhile, Timber Creek has been doing exactly what I said that they should be doing, which is, Crispy put 3 goals in off the bat, had their hat trick. This time around is Piggy's chance, set up by, you guessed it, Crispy Bacon on the couple of assists that we saw in this one. Everybody's able to do a little bit of everything. You never know. It keeps you guessing as a defender on where that next shot's going to come from. When that passing is on point, that's some of the struggles those team plays will throw you through loops, especially if you don't have boost. TJ, it makes it especially difficult. So now their opportunity to close out. But for Freedom High School, you're not done until it's over. You got to fight.
There has been reverse sweeps in multiple parts of state playoffs across the entire nation, especially across Play VS and the level of competition in this field. I mean, I know Georgia in the semifinals just had a reverse sweep almost last week, came all the way down to a Game 7 clutch from the team that almost kind of choked it away. So for Freedom, there is still hope, but you have got to slow down. You've got to take it one game at a time, and you've got to stop Piggy and Crispy from working in your half.
Yeah, those two, the deadly duo. They've been absolutely excellent. If you can limit those, and one way to combat that is through, obviously demos, especially if you're on the defensive side, send them all the way back. That way that combination can't hit as hard as it has been all series long. One solution for sure, but getting gimmicky also comes with its own risks. You don't want to get out of position in order to challenge them on those demos either. So it's a bit of a, I wouldn't say double-edged sword. You just got to be careful with your challenges when you get physical. Whenever you want to take these challenges as well, you got to be smart about it.
This touch will fall into the Timber Creek half. Something that they've done really well is, again, the slow touches into their own corner, their own walls, and playing it from there. Freedom haven't really needed to be a possession team because their counters and their passes and shots have been almost on. I mean, we just watched one at the end of the last game go right off the corner and what could have potentially opened up the comeback. But once again, the air dribbles from, looks like that was Piggy before trying to set up Bacon, and now it's going to be some awkward interactions, like 3 members of the pitch kind of falling and flailing under that one. We'll see Piggy wait on his teammate Bacon to go and have a force. We're already 2 minutes in, and for Freedom, a lot of green flags, some great defense, but you've got to keep it going.
MGM will play it high. I like this look, especially when Void was up there looking for the redirect or maybe even a tap down for MGM to follow up to it, and you give yourself the opportunity when you make that touch. So I like the idea, but again, the execution just a little bit off the mark. That's something that can't be adjusted here at this point. They've done a great job to limit the opportunities, but look at that bump! Big Piggy does it so well, and we see it again. A 1-0 lead for Timber Creek.
He's shooting, he's bumping, he's passing almost every living operation he could do on this pitch on the largest stage possible. He's absolutely killing it. A massive first goal here 2 minutes in.
I want to be able to get excited for Freedom, but Timber Creek has just not allowed this team to give you any kind of love, but self-save there from Thick Piggy as Pinkish, his eyes got real big in that moment. It was a wide open net, but unfortunately had some help defensively from the other team.
And that one is in. All right. I'm a little confused too, Bear. I think we're both maybe at a loss for words. That one does hurt halfway through this game, but both Void and Squid, unfortunately, couldn't find maybe a pinch or some sort of a touch because I don't think either one of them had a clear of any kind. But unfortunate. But again, you got 2 minutes, 30 seconds left on what is potentially your entire season. So you got to give it all you got.
Everything here and now. Something about the state championship, and really this the biggest stage of Rocket League. When we talk about brackets, always seems to make it a great series. And so far, I wouldn't argue that it's been an extreme one-sided affair. There's certainly been moments for Freedom High School. But if they're going to challenge, they got to challenge now. And once again, we talked about how Timber Creek can score in bunches. You have to be ready. And we see another example of 2 straight, almost 3 straight, as Thick Piggy almost laid on yet another one. And Void in transition, but that one's going to be answered back by Crispy Bacon. And MGM just couldn't quite get the challenge in time. Right back in their zone, but look out, a good pass. MGM looking for the tap off the back wall, but is held down as Crispy Bacon. Perfect positioning on the back wall.
Piggy looking to find a dagger goal, which that second one might already be it. And maybe a redirect from Pinkish. His second is a beauty.
Why not keep the same trend? 3 unanswered, and yes, what a quick read, and to get to it. I mean, that caught the Freedom High School defense by surprise. Would have caught me. You're a higher rank than me, TJ. You would have probably been caught by surprise, too. That is how you get to a spot, and you make it happen.
Yeah, MGM a little over-rotated, was in the middle of the net rather than back post, and unfortunately for them, it opened up a lane. Bacon going to try and create another one to potentially find a 4th goal. How about a full kind of corner dribble play past all 3? Pinkish going to accidentally hit this one back, and also they're going to bump each other. Void has a chance to pass middle. Maybe Squid has a chance to bump. Instead, it's actually almost a triple fake, and it will almost work out, but Bacon a great job of controlling the momentum, controlling the pace, has a reset, not going to use it. Pinkish, light touch to try and find maybe their 3rd, a hat trick for the winning game of the state finals. That's the stuff of dreams right there.
It is, and we saw it from his 2 teammates, and we complete the full cycle, if you think about it. And that's such a big moment for all 3 of these players. For Freedom High School, got to dig now. Boyd wasn't able to get the touch, but a double will throw off Crispy, so you relieve a little bit of pressure, but it's still mounting. Crispy again. Oh, man, set up by Pinkish there on the doorstep, and Timber Creek just adding to it. And now it feels like they may have buried Freedom High School at this point.
MGM, not a bad idea, just trying to keep that maybe to the wall or maybe push it left. I couldn't really tell exactly, but unfortunate mistouch there. The game a little finicky at times, but it's just the way that it rolls sometimes. And for Timber Creek, everything seems to be rolling in their direction. 30 seconds left, maybe looking for one more here.
Trying to add to it. Why not staple it? Your name's already going to be carved into it, feels like, at this point with 28 seconds left. Timber Creek want more to answer for it, and even when they're pressing, sending all 3 of Freedom High School with a double commit that just won't land. So it's been quite the season here. Timber Creek High School walks into the playoffs here. walks into the bracket, TJ, as the #1 seed, continues to lay on pressure as we see them roll into this bracket and excel past the expectations of what Timber Creek High School Rocket League is all about, and they will be the ones moving on, really feeling like they had the opportunity since the get-go. It is Timber Creek High School, the Wolves, your champions of the Florida Association of School Administrators Finals here in the fall 2024 season. Congratulations.
It's a huge win for the program. They represent their school incredibly well. Obviously, they're a very well-congealed team. The communications were on point. Mechanics were on point. When you have a player like Thick Piggy, who I had to do my own research, is GC2, which is nothing to scoff at all. I mean, we're talking about top 50, 60K in the entire world. And so Piggy making a real difference, but also the supporting cast, Bacon, Pink, did a really solid job at freeing up lanes, and we saw what Pink did in Game 4. We saw what Bacon did in Games 1 through 4, opening up lanes, and so that right there, a full team effort, that's what it takes to be a state champion.
That's right. I love the hot start and at least the attempt. The Patriots, you got to give them a shout as well. For reaching the finals is no easy feat, as you probably know firsthand, TJ. Getting there is the first step, and really creating a program and really making it and establishing a dynasty, if you will, of a high school. So that is obviously something that you have to be and stand up and be proud of as a Patriot here today. To say that you've gotten to this level and missing one of your starting three, your go-to three, I should say. Obviously, this is a roster of 4. MGM played extremely well in this series, but even still, you don't want to play woulda, coulda, shoulda, because you did have a good piece there. But at the end of the day, you fought well regardless of the circumstances, and I'm proud of them for that.
Yeah, how could you not be? Had some great moments, and at the end of the day, it's great experience. I mean, there's always a silver lining, and unfortunately, Mago was not able to make it, but MGM got the chance to play in a state final. And I mean, hey, in my first ever state final, I also lost 0-4. So I promise to the players, it's the way things go. And I mean, hey, I ended up getting 2 before I graduated. So I think they're going to be just fine. They have a lot of promise. They have a lot of mechanical talent. We'll hopefully get to see them again in the spring.
100%. Well, we also want to let you know that you can get involved even if at the middle school level. So if you're like, well, this is great and all, but I have a middle school esports team. Well, you're in luck, because Play Versus will have you covered there too. Introducing the Play Versus Middle School. It's here. It's ready. Play Versus free-to-play middle school leagues are centered around team play, like we got to see in that series, with the ultimate goal focused on student growth and, more importantly, having fun. At the end of the day, TJ, that's what it's all about. Enroll your middle school for the upcoming spring season. Learn more at playversus.com/middle-school. That is play, V as in Victor, S as in Sam, .com/middle-school to get your middle school registered for the Play Versus platform. You'll be glad you did. Because as you know, TJ, you had a great experience on Play Versus. You've lived some of these moments, and you got to see one again here. We had a lot of fun on this channel.
Yeah, I hope both teams go have fun, go out to dinner, go eat something nice. You deserve it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that'll wrap it up here for the Florida Association of School Administrators side of things. The FASA, we want to give a shout out to all the students, all the parents, all of the obviously coaches, teachers that allow this to happen in the first place. Without you, without a true person in there and leading the charge within these high school programs, I mean, how would you be able to succeed? So a big thank you to all of them, all the production team as well. TJ, appreciate you joining me also here on the FASA channel and finals. And of course, Blasky on the backside. Admin team for the Playverse is doing great things there on the backside too. And we will see you all next time. Take care, everybody.